Hi there, Joel from Jones's Auto Club, and today we're going to go through all the details for the powertrain that we've selected to run in our 1961 Chevrolet Bel Air Lowrider. Starting off, we decided to go with the tried and true Chevy L31 Vortech motor. Right now, this is what I believe to be the best value in crate engines. So here you can see the internals. We are doing a little bit of a cam swap just because it's a hot rod and we'd like to get a little bit more out of it than what the stock camshaft is. So just to give you a little background about what this is, like I said, it's a L31 Vortech engine. Came in the 3/4 ton and 1 ton trucks and SUVs from 96 through, I want to say, 2000-ish, right before they switched over to the LS style. So it's got the cast iron Vortech cylinder heads, factory roller cam. Comes with a little bit of a windage tray as well as 4-bolt main. 1-piece rear main seal and all of the updates. So we bought this from just one of the big suppliers. There's really no discounts available on these, so you just wait. Sometimes they go on sale. Cost us less than $2,000 free shipping to our door. So as for camshaft, we stuck with a original. Well, no, I correct myself. We stuck with a GM Performance Parts camshaft. The same camshaft that they install in their HT 383 trucks. It's a little bit bigger than stock. I want to say duration is about 194 to 06, and it is a direct replacement. You can see I've got the camshaft on the left is kind of a retrofit hydraulic roller that would go on the earlier ones. This one is the actual camshaft that fits perfectly in the Vortech. Now, if you go conservative on the cam, you don't have to mess around with valve springs or machining the heads for higher lift or anything like that. And since our engine is brand new, we are able to reuse the roller timing chain as well as all of the hydraulic roller lifters, push rods, and the remainder of the accessories. One thing that you do need to be aware of, since our vehicle is going to be run with fuel injection from Vortech, you want to swap out the front plastic timing cover with a timing cover that does not have the crank sensor hole in it. So moving right along, that covers the engine. 350 5.7 liter Vortech engine, upgraded roller camshaft. Otherwise, we're just going to kind of leave it stock. As for our transmission, we're again swapping out the Power Glide and going with a totally time-tested, good hot rod transmission, Turbo 350. You can pick them up, they're inexpensive, and they just work really, really well. So the rest of our powertrain for the conversion, come over here to our parts area. Going to go with a square bore standard Vortech type carbureted intake manifold that'll run our Vortech. Went with the 400 horsepower Vortech unit. You saw we have installed this previously on other projects and they just work really well. They're easy to tune and it's a nice upgrade over a traditional carburetor. I am not a huge fan of some of the standardized fuel supply kits, so we like to kind of retrofit utilizing some kind of off-the-shelf standard parts. Use a regular old Wix filter, and then we install the AN adapters to make the plumbing a little bit easier. Also, a replacement for these filters is cheap and readily available at any auto parts place. So again, I'm going with just generic rubber mounts that are for that specific application, and for the cables and linkages we're going to go with low car. Also, one thing to note, that if you are going to be installing a roller cam, into your engine, you need to swap out the gear with a melanized gear. That's an AC Delco. So I know you guys always want to know how much this cost, so in an upcoming video after the project is done, stay tuned for a spreadsheet analysis similar to the ones that we've done for the Cummins conversions. I'll outline what it takes to swap from an inline 6 over to a V8. So we are just going to go ahead and button this thing back up, get the cam swapped in there, get our oil pan put back on, get it painted orange, and get it ready to install in the Bel Air. So for the fuel system, we decided to go with a tanks unit. It's a fuel injection conversion, so it has the fuel pump itself in the tank. I prefer to run that setup because it's a lot quieter and it's more of a OEM finish. So here's the unit itself. Make sure you read the instructions to get the sock and the pump set to the correct depth for your tank. And then also make sure you note the return as well as the supply and the vent. Also, you've got your power in and your ground. Now, for the vent, they send you an actual rollover vent itself. So you need to mount this unit up as high as you can at minimum height equal to the filler neck. And you can see that it's got a little valve inside there, so it has to be mounted vertically. Also, the sending unit needs to be calibrated correctly for the depth of the tank so that it will read accurately. And then lastly, you need to make sure that you get your lines and your wires hooked up before you install the tank, because there isn't enough room once this is installed to get everything hooked up after it's in place. Really nice looking tank. It's powder coated silver, and it is a nice unit, very high quality. We've had really good luck using tanks as products in the past.
Well, here we've got the engine bolted up to the transmission, ready to install on the vehicle. As you can see, we've got the dipstick and the vacuum modulator hooked up. Got our intake manifold on there, and we left the valve covers off specifically so that it wouldn't interfere with those chains you can see right there. Also, because it's kind of a long package, we left the water pump off as well as the front pulleys. So moving into the engine compartment, we installed the crossover adapters for the mounts right there. Those are the V8 mount brackets, specifically for this generation full-size Chevy. Ours is a Bel Air, but it's the same for the Impalas. Also installed some our fuel lines. Those have yet to be terminated into the Vortech unit, so they're just kind of hanging out right there. That's the old exhaust. That'll have to get cut out.